Hi, I'm Gaurav, and together with Excel and Desiree, we want you to be somebody. We want you to experience empathy. We tackle 3 themes in this hackathon, but capacity building is the main one. When my wife and I got married, we really wanted to move into our own property together. I put in a bid for a place that we really loved, but I got a phone call from the real estate agent later that night. The landlord preferred to sell it to someone else, who was Chinese. That was in the message. Why did that matter? I was furious. But my story is not unique. This is just one story from our many, many interviews. And there are many others that are worse than this, more distressing, more disturbing. My vision is that I want my son to grow up in a society that does not judge him for how he looks. I want them to have empathy for him, and I want him to have empathy for others. In a multicultural society, empathy is not optional. Without empathy, we will tear ourselves apart. In 2013, IPS did a survey and found that discrimination on race, gender, religion still exists. In 2018, the same survey found that discrimination was still a problem. In our own research in 2020, we found that discrimination exists in schools, at work, even on the bus. It's still a problem. How can we help youths develop empathy for others? Let's first talk about what doesn't work. Dialogues. They're awkward, they're small groups, they require very sensitive moderators. I was at a dialogue before where somebody turned to me and said, "You're the Indian, right? So what's the problem?" Reading about it, watching videos, these are passive experiences. Classrooms, visits, those treat them like exotic zoo animals to go and experience once in a while. Empathy is hard to teach. It must be experienced. How do we do that? We studied our youth demographic, and mobile gaming is the best way to engage them. There are over 1 million gamers in Singapore, and 1/3 of them play it every day. We want to turn that statistic to our favor. What if we turned empathy into a game worth playing? The advantages are immediate. It's immersive, it's scalable, there's no awkwardness or pressure, there's gamification, and it can act as a bridge to real conversations. We built a game where you can put yourself in their shoes and literally be somebody else. Here, let's pick Nadid, a Malay Muslim female. We use real stories from interviews to create compelling fictional stories and retold them in an interactive narrative style, just like those old choose-your-own-adventure books, except you're now the character. In this chapter, Nadid is young, so we'll use WhatsApp chats. She's dating a Chinese Christian boy and her father just found out. He's furious. How should she handle the situation? You play out the text messages, you make the choices, you get engrossed in the experience. You feel the consequences. And at the end of the chapter, you can unlock alternative endings and alternative characters. What if you played as Gavin and you told your father you were dating Nadid? To make things realistic, we also included real stories about similar situations and encouraged people to share their stories. We're not creating a game, we're creating a movement. We built many mock-ups with different narrative styles, features, and gamification elements and play tested it. It's validated that the idea is good and we can make it even better. We don't teach empathy. This is the key thing. We help people experience it, and we collect great data on the choices that they make that can help researchers and dialogue facilitators. We have a teacher on board who will develop a lesson plan for us and will work with professional creative writers to build a multidisciplinary team. We want this to be used for 1 CCE class next year for every student aged 16 to 18. That's our immediate target. We want most of it to be free, but to make it sustainable, we're thinking we can paywall some characters, some endings, and some of the interesting chapters. We know that Singaporeans are capable and want to find out more anyways. We've got a strong team with experience and we're determined to succeed. This interview quote sums up our whole goal, but don't believe me. Scan the QR code, play the mock-up for yourself. Are you ready to be somebody and experience empathy for yourself? Thank you.
All right, on the dot. Nice.